Back at it again, and we've got to talk about some billionaires today that have realized and spoken out loud what the truth of all of this actually is. Yeah, I know. Shocking, right? Some billionaires, some people who, are probably rubbing elbows and shaking hands with, some of the people behind the curtain, right? Actually speaking the truth. I know. It sounds crazy, but y'all got to see this clip. These two gentlemen that you are about to see are David Sachs and Chamath, and they have a podcast that they speak on. I think they run the podcast themselves. Them and a couple of the billionaires and things. But if you want a refresher on Chamath, one of the billionaires, we checked him out before. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And here's a refresher. Before we get into the new clip, this is just a refresher on Chamath. Let's dive in.
Voted for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Joe Biden. But this is the honest assessment. The guy did, for the things that he was supposed to do, a good job. And for where every other president found a way to, frankly, make our situation a little bit worse.
By the way, he's talking about Trump.
Specifically around wars, he did not do that. And that is a huge accomplishment that I think needs to be acknowledged. As a Democrat who has been left homeless, who is now definitely in the center, but probably leaning increasingly right, I'm left yet again with an appreciation, despite the message of the Trump administration, because what those guys did was pretty incredible in hindsight. These Abraham Accords, the accords with Israel and the GCC, the almost accord between Israel and Saudi, to really be able to find a long-lasting peace is just a real example for the world. And those guys did a lot of really good work. And
it's a miracle, actually, when you look at it. What they did, despite the fact, listen, I'm no fan of Trump, and I am too homeless.
But this is where,
can I say this? But if you want to objectively look at what they did, it was good work. It was great work.
You have to. And in fact, this is a moment where you have to start to re-underwrite, is one's Trump derangement syndrome causing more damage than anything that Trump could have actually done? And I think the answer is yes, because it's now causing us to not see that good work and then embrace and extend it. So much of the work that happened in that administration turns out to have been right. And that's what's so frustrating for me. The work on the border wall. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. Turned out it was right. Issuing long-term debt to refinance when rates were at zero. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. A structural peace in the Middle East. We didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message.
Yep.
When are we going to stop shooting ourselves in the foot? And when are we going to actually see and take the time to look past who is saying things and actually listen to them word for word?
We're going to stop shooting our foot in November of 2024. That's when it all ends. That's when this whole ship gets turned around and we start heading in the right direction. And listen, Democrats aren't going to go out easy, right? Before and after the election. They're going to continue to try to demonize Trump even after the election. Oh, we're heading into a dictatorship. I can see the headlines now. Oh, Trump dictator, Trump with another crap. What do you call it? Why am I having a brain fart right now? With another executive order. Trump broke the record for executive orders. This is where heading into authoritarian levels, right? Authoritarian territory, right? I can see the headlines now. And come 2028, when it's time for Trump to leave office, well, first off, there's going to be, Trump's not going to leave office. Trump's going to stay. He's going to be a dictator. But come 2028, when it's time, or 2029, really, when it's time for Trump to leave office and walk out of the White House, America will be a hell of a lot of a better place than it was when he walked in that office. And no one will be able to deny that. It just is what it is. Now, let's jump into this new clip where they were speaking about the recent incident of Trump being taken off of the ballot. And they say something that's, I mean, it's literally spot on. And I'm so happy that someone, you know, that is of that ilk, right? Who, you know, is a billionaire status, right? Who's rubbing elbows with those types of folks, is breaking the mold and actually speaking the truth. Check it out.
Democracy now means the right of the people to vote for candidates approved by liberal judges. And yes, Jake Howell, all these judges were Democratic appointments. I think this case makes clear that the point of all of this lawfare against Trump is to keep him off the ballot. Until now, they've been pretending it's about something else. And I think this decision rips the mask off all the legalistic bullshit that we've heard throughout 2023.
Bingo. It rips the mask off of the Democrats. It takes it off completely. This isn't about democracy. It never was about democracy. Because if it was, you would just allow the people to choose. You would allow the people to pick. And then you had people or someone, I believe it was Rachel Maddow. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am incorrect. I apologize if I'm incorrect on the individual. But I believe it was her. Once again, I could be wrong. Who allegedly said, oh, it's not crazy for this to happen in a democracy. What? Huh? Oh, man. It's not crazy for that to happen in a Democrat-run democracy. And yes, I know for those of you that are going to say, Rich, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. I get it. I'm just repeating Democrat talking points. But, you know, it's really interesting when I need to find this clip. Sorry, guys. I know. I need to find a producer, you know, that can organize everything for me. But I want to show you guys this clip of Rachel Maddow in 2020. Check it out.
Now that he's got the right attorney general in position to do it, we now know they really have been trying to gin up criminal prosecutions and criminal investigations into the president's perceived enemies, politically motivated persecution, right? Courtesy of Bill Barr. I'll roll in the FBI on you. That's how banana republics work, right?
Interesting, Miss Rachel. Interesting. So it's crazy and lunatic and banana republic-ish when Trump allegedly does it, which he didn't. But it's not crazy in a democracy when Biden does it. I don't know. I just had to show y'all that clip. Let's jump back into what this billionaire has to say.
I mean, Democrats don't really give a damn whether he paid off a porn star or kept classified documents or supposedly led a racketeering conspiracy. They just don't want him standing for a vote that he might win. And I feel like all of the time we spent on this pod earnestly debating the details and legalities of the documents case, it was a total sucker's game. That's the narrative they want us engaging in. It never had anything to do with documents. They just want to keep him off the ballot. And I think that by being so naked about this, by ripping the mask off what they're trying to do, the Colorado Supreme Court has really done us all a favor. I mean, the Supreme Court of the United States is surely going to reject this decision. But the lasting impact is going to be in revealing liberalism's true face. They are the real authoritarians. And while restricting the right of the people to vote for the candidate who is leading the polls right now, they proclaim that they're saving democracy. I mean, they self-glorify and engage in this self-righteous rhetoric that they're saving democracy.
Bro, this is why I wanted to show y'all this. This is so spot on. Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, it's almost like a dream to be sitting here and listening to him say this stuff out loud, like for everyone to hear. This isn't like a secret recording, you know, of two people having a conversation, you know, behind closed doors somewhere and someone secretly recorded them. Like, no, like he said this for the public. And it's just like, holy, someone's actually saying the truth. Holy, you know, whatever, you know, words you want to add after that. Like, this is crazy. It's crazy. I'm loving it, though. I'm loving it. It's what needs to be said, honestly, you know, because obviously it is the truth. And oftentimes now you are accused of being a conspiracy theorist or anti this or anti that or a far right extremist or a MAGA Republican if you speak the truth these days. And it's wild. So what are they going to say about this guy and I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, Chamath? What are they going to say about them? They're far right extremists now too. I'm sure they will, but it's just interesting.
And engage in this self-righteous rhetoric that they're saving democracy. I mean, the rest of the country, any normal person is looking at this and saying these people have completely lost touch with reality, completely lost touch.
The other unfortunate outcome of this is that there will be a wave where people will talk about the big steal as this. And what people will say is that there was an attempt by the Democrats to really roadblock Trump's ability to be voted up and down by the American people. And that's disenfranchising the ability for people to vote. And I think that that's really unfortunate. And I wish that the Democrats would have thought about that in their calculus before engaging in what is really a deeply partisan thing to do.
And this is why I say, and I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but this is why I say the Democrats are absolutely panicking right now. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They had it all planned out. They had this great strategy that has worked time and time again. Right. And even Trump admitted it himself. He said, when's the last time you've seen someone get indicted and go up in the polls? When's the last time you saw that? When's the last time you saw someone get indicted and become more popular? Typically, especially someone, of that ilk that's in like politics or anything, they come out with a statement, I made some mistakes. I'm going to go home with my family and spend some time with them. And, they disappear. They're gone. I think that's what Democrats expected. That's what the elites expected to happen, and it didn't. And I compared it to, for those of you that used to watch wrestling, or still do, I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid. My grandmother, God rest her soul, used to love wrestling. I just remember if you would try to change the channel when she was watching wrestling, oh no. Oh, absolutely not. Wouldn't no cartoons being played. No, nothing. She was watching wrestling. And so I became a big fan of wrestling, especially when I was a kid because I thought it was real. But I just remember a scene with The Undertaker, right? And, he was in a casket and it was like this whole show, Undertaker passed away, blah, blah, blah. And then he sits up in the casket. He sits straight up. And that's what I imagine Trump being to the Democrats. Like they thought they had him in the casket. They were ready to bury him. They were ready to close the casket and put him 6 feet under. He's done. He's cooked. It's over. And then he sat up again. And they all were like, holy, this wasn't supposed to happen. What's going on here? And so now they're just throwing anything and everything at the wall to see what sticks. And you see it all over the place. There's like just little like tidbits where I'm like, that looks a little sloppy for Democrats, because I've said this before. Democrats are actually very strategic. And it sucks because I'm watching Republicans and I'm like, yo, why aren't y'all? But then it hit me. It's uniparty, right? The Republicans that are actually true Republicans are very strategic. The rest of them aren't. But, you see these little tidbits of them just being a little sloppy, not really thinking things completely through and just rushing it. There's examples all over the place. If you just look for them, they're all over the place. Maybe I'll make a video on that one of these days of just all of the different examples of Democrats just being a little sloppier than what they normally have been, in the recent past. But let's jump back into this video.
This will get overturned, but the damage will be long lasting. Unfortunately, that's a shame.
Totally. And Matt Taibbi had a good line. He said that only people who live in a bubble within a bubble within a bubble could ever think a decision like this is a good idea. Here are the three bubbles. Number one, all of these judges were Democratic appointments, because so living within the Democratic Party is the first bubble. The second bubble was the fact that they all went to Ivy League schools. This was actually a 4-3 decision. The 4 justices who went to the Ivy Leagues all voted for it. They thought this was a good idea. The 3 that went to Denver Law School, the non-Ivy League school, were all against it and wrote scathing dissents against it. So that tells you the second bubble is the Ivy League. The third bubble is people who've been totally marinating in the mainstream media and their coverage of this because they think that they can just conclude that Trump is guilty of an insurrection because it's just a fact according to the media they listen to. Trump has never been convicted of that crime. He's never even been charged with it.
Bingo. He's never even been charged with anything. But then again, like I said just the other day, the Uniparty has already taken that step, right? We saw the Republicans vote to oust George Santos. And he wasn't even convicted of anything. Say what you want about George Santos. You know, oh man, he's a terrible person, yada, yada, yada. He lied, whatever. Say what you want. But he was not convicted in a court in front of a jury of his peers. He was not convicted of anything. And these so-called Republicans voted to oust him. For what? For what exactly? So you see this with the Uniparty already. They've already taken that step. Oh, see, we ousted George Santos already. He wasn't convicted of anything. So now let's oust Trump. Even though he's not convicted of anything. Hey, the court of public opinion, baby. The court of public opinion means more, or they're trying to elevate the court of public opinion within the Uniparty higher than the actual court. And that's a shame. That is a shame. And it needs to end immediately. Immediately. Because that's just absolute insanity. But that's what they want. That's what they want. They want to be able to get rid of anyone and everyone that they possibly can without having to go through the process. I mean, they have literally said it. They've literally said it in videos. Like, we've got the evidence. And of course, you know, come 2024, 2025, when Trump takes office again, and, you know, he starts issuing these executive orders, they'll try to backtrack. And we'll be like, no, we've got the tapes. We've got the tapes. You guys were literally trying to throw people under the jail without any convictions. 0 convictions. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. But y'all let me know what you thought about this in the comment section. Ripping the mask off of the Democrat Party. And hey, listen, he was 100% right when he made that statement. They've ripped the mask off of themselves. Literally. They can't hide anymore. It's so blatantly obvious. And this is why I say Trump's winning in 24. Trump's winning in 24. People can say what they want to about this or that. Whatever they attempt to do, whatever that is, I don't know. Maybe we hop into a World War III. I don't know. Whatever they attempt to do to stop the election of 2024, or to ensure that they have favorable outcomes, it'll be so blatantly obvious. It'll backfire in the most catastrophic way for them. Because there's just too many people that are now supporting Trump. There's too many people that are like me, right? I can't wait until the day. Bro, I'm waking up at the butt crack of dawn to make sure that I go make my voice heard. At the butt crack of dawn. As soon as them doors open, I will be there. Like, I can't wait. I'm running to the polls. If I didn't have a vehicle, I would literally run there. Okay? And I feel like there's so many people in America that feel that same way. Like, we can't wait to get there. You know? Can't wait to get there. It'll be so blatantly obvious what they're trying to do or attempting to do that it won't work. It won't work at all. But they're going to try something. I don't know what that is. WW3, Pandemic 2.0, or as you know, some people have coined it, the Plandemic, right? Something will be tried. They won't go out without a fight, and like I've said before, rightfully so. You know, if I were in their shoes, I wouldn't go out without a fight either. You know what I'm saying? That's just common sense. Okay, so I don't necessarily blame them for that, right? Because when I put myself in their shoes, I'm like, nah, bruh, I'm not going down easy. And even after I go down, like, I'm still gonna be fighting, you know, until it's over. I'm fighting. But yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions about all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.